Thank you very much for joining us here on France 24. We begin in Sudan, where hundreds of women took to the streets of the city of Omdurman on Thursday to voice their anger following allegations that women were raped during marches held just a few days ago. This protest was organized by women's groups and supported by neighborhood resistance communities. Demonstrations were also seen in other cities. The United Nations Human Rights Office received 13 allegations of rape and gang rape by security forces during protests on Sunday. Hundreds of thousands had assembled in the capital, Khartoum, to protest against the country's military coup. France 24's Bastien Renouil joins us now from Nairobi. Bastien, what more do we know about these accusations?
Well, as you just said, according to the United Nations, at least 13 women were raped during last Sunday's demonstration in Khartoum. And among them, according to a local NGO, was a 10-year-old girl that was assaulted by at least 10 men. Most of these aggressions happened when demonstrators were trying to escape the presidential palace where the demonstration was happening. So according to demonstrators, there were even more women who were sexually assaulted by military forces. NGOs are asking for an independent investigation on these assaults and rapes, but according to some activists I talked to, there is a very small chance that they will end up somewhere, because after the 3rd of June massacre in 2019 that ended the sitting in Khartoum, more than 100 people were killed. There was an investigation, but until now no one has been held accountable, so they are worried that the same thing will happen again and that no one will be held accountable for all these rapes and sexual assault. These activists say that sexual violences have been used by military forces, security forces during the past 30 years by people close to Omar al-Bashir, and that it's a tool to break the power of women. So that's why it's important to speak out, and that's why hundreds, thousands of women were demonstrating yesterday, whether it was in Khartoum, in Omdurman, or in other cities, to show their support to the victims.
Bastien, as we've been saying, this happened during a protest against the military coup. It's been 2 months now, and yet the pressure from the people is showing no signs of abating.
Absolutely. There are still thousands and hundreds of thousands gathering at every big demonstration. So they're not demonstrating on a daily basis, but every week, every 2 weeks, people are taking to the streets to show that they're still committed, and they still ask the General Burhan to leave the power and to bring back a civilian government. So even if Abdallah Hamdok is back in power, they don't trust him anymore. They say that if General Burhan allowed him to come back in power, well, he's still watching what Abdallah Hamdok is doing. He's still putting pressure on him, and that Abdallah Hamdok is not able to do his work freely. So they are asking for General Burhan to step back. They're asking for the military to step back and to leave the power to civilians. And they say they will stay in the streets until their demands are made.
Bastien Renouil reporting there from Nairobi. Thank you very much.